Sean O'Malley believes Aljamain Sterling is the bantamweight GOAT. Sean vs. Aljo goes down for the bantamweight strap at UFC 292 on August 19th. Speaking to Bloody Elbow, O'Malley said, "I'm fighting a prime bantamweight GOAT right now. He's the best bantamweight the UFC has ever had. He's defended the belt more than anyone. He's in his prime. He just beat Henry Cejudo, who's a 2-time division champion. So yeah, it's an exciting, difficult challenge that I'm excited to go out there and compete. My game plan's no secret. I do not want him to grab a hold of me at all. He doesn't grab me, I win the fight. He grabs me, you know, it's not ideal. It's not like I'm a white belt or completely oblivious to what to do. He's the best in the world at grappling. That's what he does. He's won the belt that way and he's the best. I'm not taking him lightly at all. I'm not underestimating him at all, but yeah, I'm confident. I'm excited to go in there. It's the biggest test, the biggest challenge of my career." Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith break down how Jake Paul could earn respect from the MMA community.
The problem is he talks about fighting Canelo Alvarez. He talks about fighting the best boxers on the planet. He talks about becoming a pound-for-pound #1 and a legitimate world champion. The only boxer he's fought, Tommy Fury, was an amateur. Not an amateur, he's a pro, but he's a beginner. He's still in the very, very early days, the developmental phase of your boxing career.
And he might not beat KSI.
And he might not beat KSI. I don't know. And why are we even talking about KSI and all these kids? It's just they have, and this is why it might seem like we're being disrespectful, because they have infiltrated the fight space, and they are doing a very, very good job of masquerading that they're real fighters. And a lot of people sitting there that are pro Jake Paul, pro KSI, because they're human beings and they're living their lives and they're making money, so more power to them. Some people might say that we're intimidated because they're doing it smarter and they're making money without pushing themselves. But as you said, they're two very different things. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're trying to fight the best people in the world and we're really putting it all on the line and our health and safety. They're out there doing a sideshow, freak show attraction and picking on Nate Diaz when he's almost 40 years old, when he is 155, when he's never boxed in his goddamn life. Again, makes us roll our eyes a little bit, or my eye.
And if he really wanted our respect, he could get it. He's heard everything that I've said about him. Number one, he's never ever fucking responded because he knows, number one, I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm not trying to disrespect him. I'm not like attacking him personally. I don't give a about him personally. And he knows that all he has to do is come to the gym. If someone was talking like that about me, like if Jake Paul was like, Anthony Smith sucks, that dude couldn't beat his way out of a wet paper bag, like I would DM him and say, well, let's train together. Like, yeah. If he wanted the respect, like that's how we do it as MMA fighters. Like, you got a problem, we can just spar. Like, we can talk it out in person. We can fight it out in the gym when nobody's around. There's no cameras. You shut the gym down and we do it. And if he's as good as he thinks he is, or he's as good as he says he is, I'll come on here and tell you and be like, no, you're right, but he wouldn't do that. Obviously, you're too big, you're in your prime, etc. There's guys like, for example, Darren Till that are in their prime, right, that are his size. You know what I mean? I'm saying, lots of other people if he wanted the respect without having to go in there and fight for it, that's what I mean. Like, he could get it from the whole community by doing something like that. It doesn't have to be me. It could be, there's a bunch of me's out there, like, where he could go in and prove it. Like, prove it to someone that's respected in the community. And I promise you guys in our community will be like, all right, here's the deal. He's pretty good.
It looks like Elon Musk has no interest in fighting Mark Zuckerberg under the UFC promotion. Earlier today, Elon tweeted this. He wrote, "The fight will be managed by Mayan Zuck's foundations, not UFC. Live stream will be on this platform and Meta. Everything in camera frame will be ancient Rome, so nothing modern at all. I spoke to the Prime Minister of Italy and Minister of Culture. They have agreed on an epic location." He followed up with, "Everything done will pay respect to the past and present of Italy." He ended it off with an "all proceeds go to veterans." Conor McGregor reacted to this. A few weeks back, Conor stated that he would be interested in Elon versus Mark if it was under the UFC. Earlier today, he tweeted, "I could not be less interested in this. I am so happy the UFC will not be involved." He deleted the tweet shortly after posting it. Henry Cejudo clowns Cory Sandhagen for his performance at UFC Nashville. Henry posted this video to his Instagram. Aljamain Sterling left a comment saying, "I have to sadly agree with you."
Hey, what? Oh my God! Oh my God! Sandhagen, come on! You gotta get the principles of this game. It's being around 100%. We're either fighting for the title or we're fighting to fight for the title. That's it. It makes me forgive myself for Aljamain. Really holy is like I'm not getting ready to go take a piss. Dude, they're still hugging. If Sandhagen wants a title shot, this is not the way to go about it. Well, it's gonna be me and Marab. It's the only thing that makes logical sense. Thank you, Cory Sandhagen. Thank you. There's no way that this hit me and Marab. Umar with that performance would have killed him, dude. But he wasn't gonna beat him anyway to kill him.
Brendan Schaub believes fight fans need to appreciate Jake Paul more. On his podcast, Brendan said, "You should be happy that Jake is here, man. No matter how you feel about him from his Disney days, YouTube days, whatever his background is, the point is he's given UFC fighters that you've watched for years take all this trauma and not get paid like the way they should. All these complaints about fighter pay and fighter equality and all this shit. Then this kid Jake Paul comes along and builds this insane empire, and he gives these fighters that you love the biggest paydays they've ever gotten in their lives, and you guys hate on it. This is fake. These are set up. When Diaz was fighting and you were all upset about this or that, and the man and Dana and the UFC in general and the machine him over, and he finally gets his biggest payday and you're saying this guy. Well, which one is it?" Looks like Dillon Danis versus Logan Paul is already in jeopardy. Last night, Dillon went on an absolute rampage on Twitter, trolling Logan and his fiance, and apparently Misfits is now threatening to pull the fight. These are all of the photos that Dillon posted. Moments ago, Dillon tweeted, "Apparently Misfits is censoring me, saying I went too far and threatening to pull the fight. WTF. This is a ruthless game, kid. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen." A fan replied, "First actual effective promotion from one of their fighters, and they threatened to pull the whole thing. Bunch of wet wipes." Dillon replied, "Complete bullshit. This is what I mean when I say these guys aren't real fighters." And that's gonna wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to the beef between the Schmo and Ariel Helwani. The first one's from Mr. Top Comment. It says, "Ariel versus the Schmo. Book it." The second one's from Zach H420. It says, "Ariel is the type of guy to talk trash about a fighter, then call said fighter a bully when they respond in a hostile manner." And the final one's from Dude Main. It says, "No one treats fighters with more respect than the Schmo. He always seems genuine and interested in the fighters. That alone makes me a big Schmo fan." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.